Lady Macbeth did not manufacture Macbeth. That reading lets him off far too easily.
Exactly. She does not plant murder in an innocent man. She spots an ambition already there, finds the weak point, and presses until he acts on what he already wants.
And that matters, because once you turn her into the sole villain, the play gets simpler than it is.
And, worse than that, it gets false. Macbeth is already thinking in the direction of power before she starts her attack. The witches tell him he will be king, and his mind jumps straight to violent possibilities.
So before she even appears with a plan, he is not just curious, he is tempted.
More than tempted. He says his thoughts are so disturbing that they shake him. That is the point. The possibility of murder is already alive in him. Lady Macbeth does not invent that thought. She hears the opening and uses it.
Which means her famous pressure campaign lands because there is something to land on.
Right. If Macbeth had no appetite for the crown, her words would fail. Instead, she reads him accurately. He wants the result, but he does not want the fear, the guilt, or the risk that come with taking it.
That is where her attack on his masculinity comes in.
Yes, she does not hypnotize him. She corners him. When he hesitates, she calls him a coward. She ties manhood to action. She basically says, if you were really a man, you would do what you said you wanted to do.
And that is strategic, because Macbeth cares how he appears.
Very much. He is a soldier. His public identity is built on courage and decisiveness. So when she says he is shrinking from his own desire, she hits the exact pressure point that will hurt.
But influence is not control. That distinction is where bad readings usually collapse.
Exactly. She pushes. He decides. That is the line people blur. Macbeth lists reasons not to kill Duncan. Duncan is his king, his guest, and a decent ruler. Macbeth understands the crime perfectly well. Then, he does it anyway.
So, the decision is informed, not accidental. He cannot later pretend he was dragged into something he barely understood.
No, he knows the stakes. He names them. Then he crosses the line. And after that first murder, the idea that Lady Macbeth controls him gets even weaker.
Because, once he is king, he starts moving ahead of her.
Exactly. The clearest example is Banquo. Lady Macbeth does not plan that murder. Macbeth does. He hires killers on his own. He keeps her out of it. He tells her to be innocent of the knowledge. That is not a puppet. That is a man becoming more autonomous in violence.
And more dangerous, because now he does not even need her shove.
Yes, Duncan's murder takes persuasion. Banquo's does not. Then it gets worse. Macduff's family are slaughtered, and Lady Macbeth is nowhere near that decision. By that stage, Macbeth is not being pushed into evil. He is governing through it.
So if she opens one door, he is the one who keeps walking through the house.
That is a good way to put it. She accelerates him, but she does not author him. The play shows a man who wanted power before the pressure, accepted murder as the price, and then made further choices without needing instruction.
That also helps explain why they collapse so differently.
Yes, because they are not the same kind of mind. Lady Macbeth begins with ferocious control. She can suppress pity, organize the murder, steady Macbeth when he panics, but she cannot live indefinitely with what they have done.
Sleepwalking, compulsive hand-washing, the mind cracking under replayed guilt.
Exactly. Her collapse is private, repetitive, and haunted. Macbeth's collapse looks different. He hardens. He keeps killing. He becomes numb, then bleak. By the end, he is not unraveling into confession. He is stripped down into emptiness.
So she is consumed by guilt, while he burns through feeling and carries on.
Yes, two collapses, not one. She cannot master the moral aftermath. He survives by deadening himself, but that is not strength.
And that takes us back to the lazy reading. Blame everything on Lady Macbeth, and you miss Macbeth's own shape.
You miss the central fact. Lady Macbeth sees weakness in Macbeth, but weakness is not innocence. He wants the crown before she speaks. She attacks his masculinity to force action. She influences him, but she does not control him. And once he starts, he becomes something even she cannot manage.
So, the play is not about a pure man ruined by a wicked wife.
No, it is about ambition finding its method, then outgrowing the person who first helped unleash it. Lady Macbeth does not create Macbeth. She reveals how much of him was already waiting.